Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down my trading week. So we had a great trading week this week. I had a beautiful day trade and then I had a beautiful swing trade. So I'm going to break those down for you all in this video. All I ask is you please smash that like button. It helps the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Comment some positivity. You guys have been crushing these videos lately and I'm just really appreciative. So yeah, banger video. Bring out the notepads. You're going to learn a lot from this. Going to hold nothing back and hopefully I can help you become a better trader. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump onto the charts. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for meeting me over here on the charts. So I'm going to break down the swing trade that I took first, and then I can break down the day trade as well. So even if you aren't a swing trader, I think you're going to enjoy this part of the video. I'm going to break it down as in much detail as I can. So this one was perfect. I mean, the analysis on this one on AUD USD was great, and it all started from the high time frame. So if we look on the monthly time frame over here, guys, you can see that we are in a very clear area of support on AUD USD. So I don't like to use the term support and resistance, but this is a big figure. And if you look, we have 62 big figure marked out here. And you can see it's a very responsive region for this pair, for this currency pair. Okay. So on the weekly time frame, you can see we've rejected from here before, we've rejected from here before. We have this nice imbalance that's kind of been holding. And nonetheless, just 62 is a big region. We're also in a deep discount of this leg here. So I expected the market to head higher, and that's why I was looking for longs, right? We had this low right here. We had actually a set of equal lows here on the daily that we ended up running down, taking out the stop losses of these traders. I actually took a loss on this trade last week. I was early on AU, so it was great to get the redemption this week on this pair. And I took a long last week here, was hoping we'd push to the upside. I was aware of these equal lows there. It was a silly mistake on my end, but I did end up getting my get back here and just a super clean trade here. So I'm going to show you guys right here. I actually forecasted this trade in the swing chat, so you can see the analysis on AUD USD and NZD USD as well. Both played out to perfection out of the big figure numbers there that you saw on the analysis. So one other thing, we had this nice order block or demand zone that was resting right at the 62 big figure as well. So if I go and play this out here for a second, you can see we actually initially started to push to the upside. And if I refer back to the analysis section here, I'll just pop it up. You can see that I wanted to see a sweep of this initial reaction. So I wanted to see this as a trap. Then we sweep, then we break structure, and then we look to take the market in the opposing direction. That's something that I was hoping for, and that's exactly what played out. So if I play this out, you can see we have the sweep of liquidity, and then we have the strong push to the upside. So we end up sweeping the low here, we end up breaking structure right here, and then we end up creating a nice imbalance. If I zoom in here, right here. So if I just mark this imbalance out like so, this is where I actually waited for the market to reject out of. I think I took this trade at like 9:30 on what, Tuesday night. So I think Trump was speaking at this time as well, and I wanted to see how we reacted out of this imbalance. So once we came down and we started to create the bottom wick, I ended up market executing here, and I will just go and let you guys know where exactly I ended up getting in this trade. So I ended up getting in this trade at 62,457. So if I just go and plug this in for all you beautiful people, my stop loss was 61,840. So if we go over here, there we go, 61,840, and then my TP was 2% up here at this high, right? So pretty much right away, I ended up going to sleep, and I ended up waking up in the morning and seeing that we were absolutely ripping to the upside, which is amazing. So as the market ended up getting closer here, I'm going to show you guys, I ended up getting out of my position up here when we started to reject this close from my take profit. So just from past experience with swing trades, when we have a move like this, a retracement is imminent. And when I'm that close to my take profit, I'm just going to close the trade. So I'll pop up the profit here on this trade. I'm super pumped. This was on my personal account. This was actually my biggest trade on personal funds. So was really happy about that. I'm not going to lie. So it's been a great trading year so far, and I'm very blessed and grateful. But I ended up getting out of this trade at 63,544. So if I just drag this down like so, it ended up being like a 1.7R trade, which who's ever mad about that? Especially a swing trade, guys. You got to think swing trades usually for me take up to like a week to play out. So for me to close this thing within 2 days, not even 2 days, very grateful. And if I just play this out right now, NFP happened today. I didn't want to potentially give any profits back during NFP. I do hope this comes up. I mean, my final take profit on on AU in terms of analysis was this high. So it'd be amazing to see if we do reach that high. And if I just go over here to NZD USD as well and add this on here for a second, you can see the analysis, if I just pop that up again, was perfect here. Now, the reason I ended up taking AU instead of NU is because AU didn't have that additional sweep. So NU didn't have that additional sweep. So I really wanted to see that additional sweep. So yeah, grateful overall. Wasn't going to give back any profits there for 14 pips. And yeah, just a beautiful trade. So without further ado, let's jump on to the day trade on GBP USD. Let me take a minute to introduce to you one of the top new prop firms in the industry, Think Capital. Think Markets, a fully regulated broker, has entered the prop space. With over 15 years of broker experience, this is massive for us traders. With up to 600K in capital to manage, 5K to 300K accounts, it gives us the perfect resources to succeed. Another bonus is they offer to USA clients, which is massive for you US traders. Use the link in the description and code RMTrading for 15% off any challenge. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so thanks for meeting me over here on Euro USD. So right off the bat for myself, the night before anyway, I wanted to see this high get swept here on GU. So when I got on in the morning, it was like, I got on about 7:45. That's usually when I get on for New York session. But you can see here, if I just go and fast forward this, you can see here that we actually sweep it. So by the time I get on in the morning, we have already swept the liquidity pool. Now, one thing I like to see are traps. So I like to see people getting trapped out of the market before I like to get involved. So if I'm looking for shorts, I want to see early sellers get stopped out, and then I like to get involved. So when I got on, I saw that this actually happened in London session. We had the sweep of liquidity, we had the retracement, and a lot of people would have got stopped out of their positions here on GBP USD. You can see that New York session opens up, we end up running those stop losses, and the stop losses of the traders we're going to be targeting are going to be down here. Now, I wanted to see Asia low get hit, or I wanted to see this demand zone get hit. Now, I'm going to show you in a moment something that happened to me that was kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, it literally is what it is. I'm just going to go and remove NU, and I'm going to quickly go and add Euro USD here for you guys, and I will explain it all in a second. So right here, this is when I was considering getting into GU, but I actually at first got into EU. So EU did the same thing, but pay attention to how much higher pay attention to how much higher EU was on the day. You can see here EU was up almost 0.7, whereas GU was up 0.35. So GU was the weaker pair. I ended up market executing on EU with my stop loss above this high, and I was looking to target this low here as my internal liquidity pool that I wanted to see the market reach for. Okay, so once the market tagged me in here, and I was up this high here. So let me just go and actually go like this for a second. So when I entered EU over here, I had a thought that there was a chance that if GU came up into this area here, EU would end up sweeping the high and then selling off, whereas GU would leave the high. If you're not familiar with this, go back and watch one of my day trading videos from like last week. I think I cover divergence. And a lot of the time, one of them will sweep a higher low and the other one will save it. So because GU was the weaker pair, I thought that, okay, maybe I'm going to get taken out here. So I got out of EU and I got into GU. So I ended up entering GU here within this order block right here with my stop above this high. And I wanted to target Asia lows down here. So you can see, I'm going to play this out and show you guys what happens here. GU absolutely just shits the bed. It absolutely starts to chop like crazy. And if we look on the 15-minute time frame, not the best price action. Whereas if I just left EU, look what happened. I would have hit take profit and been done with the day. So this was kind of a frustrating one because if I just stuck with this one, I got a little bit tripped up there with the divergence. And I mean, it is what it is. I still make mistakes sometimes, and it's little ones like this. Both trades are to plan. It's just most of the time, EU will run the high here. But it is what it is. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. If I could go back in time, I wish I would have just stuck with the trade, and if it stopped me out, it stopped me out. But it is what it is. Yeah, this trade ended up running, I think at max 1.2 hours, so I wasn't going to close this thing. I still had hope that we would mitigate this imbalance here and then sell off. We did have some sort of a reaction there at first, but then it just wasn't enough to keep going. There wasn't enough momentum to keep the trade going. So yeah, I'm super grateful for lessons like this. I'm grateful when this stuff happens, because a lot of the time, if we're winning, we're constantly winning, which I've had a great year. You're not, I don't want to say you're not learning as much, but you learn a lot more when you take a loss than when you win, in my opinion, because you can be winning and having bad habits and you don't really notice. But when stuff starts to go sideways, you really can tell something's going wrong. Whereas if you take a loss, it's awesome if it's to your plan. It should be to your plan. Unless you're new, obviously you're going to have your journey where you're taking trades that aren't to your plan, et cetera, et cetera. But you do come back around and you start to take trades to your plan. But there's always something to learn from a loss. Even if it's to your plan, there's a reason why it didn't work out. And I like to go over that reason. So the reason GU didn't work out here is because it just stopped being weak. It stopped being the weaker pair. And once EU ran the internal liquidity pool here, it headed the other way. One thing I didn't notice until after the trade as well is the fact that we ended up mitigating this imbalance right here on the 4-hour time frame and having a strong reaction out. So if I paid attention to that, I would have just closed this trade down here in this consolidation. Again, hindsight, you learn things after the fact. You learn things when you journal and you're able to apply it. So something I'm going to be paying attention to more often now is, okay, after I'm in the trade, what's the 4-hour looking like? What's the hourly looking like? Where are areas of potential reversal? And I just slipped up on this one. I think a little bit was because I was a little bit frustrated about this one. It was one of those where I'm like, literally just like, really? Like, are you serious? Like, look at what happened here. It just sells off right to my take profit and then heads the other way. And then GU obviously just didn't do that. So hope you guys enjoyed this trade breakdown. These are the trades that I took this week. All in all, it was a great week. It could have been a perfect week, but hey, still, I'll take the lesson. I'll learn from it, and we keep going. But again, if you guys enjoyed these technical videos, if you enjoyed the trade breakdowns where I break down my trading week, please smash that like button. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video. Comment some positivity. Comment how your week was. I'd love to hear it. You guys know I respond to every single comment. And of course, hit subscribe if you're new. I appreciate you all so much. And what do I say at the end of every single video? Let's be 1% better every single day.